This conference will now be recorded.
All right, so today is Thursday, April 16th, and as always, everything that we're going to be talking about today is for educational purposes only, and nothing is intended as any type of investment advice. All right, so first thing that we're going to have on our list is EDNT. Now, there are shares available, but you do have to request them, so make sure that you go out there and that you request those shares. Now, something that really interesting, right before we started our meeting, you can see right here is these prints that leaked out, right in the low twos, and then you have a 430, which doesn't really mean as much, but basically 215 to 203. So unfortunately, a lot of times when we see something like that happen, that basically means that they're reporting it now because they're basically they have to report it to get out of it. So a lot of times we end up seeing the stock go right back towards that once we see these type of things. So just keep that in mind. It's not, once again, it's going to need the selling kind of like this to show us that it's going to end up coming back down towards that side. I don't have any great show of hand in this. As it was pulling up to the 5, I mean, the volume was great, don't get me wrong, but I didn't see anything that was that special. I mean, it definitely has some buying up there, but not anything that really tells me that it has to break back up above that 5 level. And 5 is, is one of the what was the first stock? We're on it right now, EDNT. So overall, we need to see something better. I mean, but just when these kind of prints pop out, it's something to definitely pay attention to because a lot of times they end up gravitating towards them. So if we start to see a huge amount of selling coming into this, it's going to be a real nice short back towards that downside. Obviously, if we start to see buying coming in, we're going to be looking towards that upside because there is still buying up here. It's just not as much as I would have wanted it to be. All right. So we don't really have a great show of hand in it yet. It's, it's the top gainer of the day and it's got the best volume, but it's just we don't have the greatest show that came in yet. All right, next stock is going to be THMO. So THMO, I like a lot. The only thing that I wasn't a huge fan of is as we were coming back towards that 750 area, I just haven't seen the buying that's coming into. So it's got some really great volume. So it didn't come up on nothing, and it's kind of holding on not really much trading that's going on. But again, just not really a great show of hand for me to go off of, and that's obviously with these cheaper stocks is the most important thing that comes into it. So as of right now, it's, it's certainly, it fits all the criteria for a stock on our list. It just hasn't, the market maker hasn't shown us what they're looking to do yet. So we're going to have to wait for that before we really have the idea of where it's going to be looking to go. Obviously, go out there and get shares of this one too. Now, normally I wouldn't do this, but ZM is an everyday stock and the pre-market is just pretty much garbage today. But normally I wouldn't do this. But one thing I do want to look at is the ZM. Now, obviously, huge move towards that downside this morning. And if you look, I mean, the selling that was behind it, and I don't know why what's going on here. Okay. Just so you can see everything. Yeah, so the selling that's been behind that giant move really wasn't that much. So, it's another one where I don't really, I mean, don't get me wrong, there is new selling that's starting to come in, and it did have some really good selling that came in on the regular time and sales. Okay, but overall, I'm not sold on it being underneath this 150 at all yet. So we're going to definitely want to see a little bit more that's coming into it, more of a, burst of show of hand rather than, what we're seeing right now where it's kind of just leaking out, because I'm not going to start my morning off of a trade that has good selling on the regular time and sales. Even though it might look like a burst, they still want to see something bigger coming in. You can see a little bit more selling coming in under that 150, but just not as much as I'd expect. So overall, we really want to see something a little bit better, but certainly looks like we're going to have a big range today. And I mean, obviously, like every single day, but I love this stock. I absolutely love it. And just, I wasn't kidding with you guys yesterday. We're going to be switching this weekend to Zoom instead of GoToMeeting. It's the least that we could do from everything that it's given to us, and I kind of like their platform as well. So just remember, on Monday morning when you come in for the meeting, I'm going to put the link out there earlier than I usually do. Just make sure you get set up, just so you don't have any problems, and it comes into 9 o'clock. You try to open it up right away, and then all of a sudden, things don't work for you, end up missing the meeting. All right, so overall, once again, yes, and that's the biggest thing, is that it is not a hard read. It's very, very simple. When they show you something, it does it. It's just been such a wonderful trade for us. So well, GoToMeeting has a video feature too, but we'll talk about that at a different time. All right, let's go over to what our side list is. ATOS, excuse me. All right, so this is so it jumped up, and it wasn't actually really that bad of volume for how early it was. You're talking about 8 o'clock, and it jumped up, on basically about 50,000 shares coming into there. So nothing too crazy, but Overall, it just doesn't. Once again, it doesn't have that buying up around that 350 that I'd really like to see. So you could see the amount of selling that actually came in rather than than new buying. So I don't have very high hopes for it, but it's something that I do have to pay attention to just because there's just not that much that's going on out there. Next thing is SNGX. So SNGX is almost the same exact type of deal. If we come back over here, you can see at those highs right around 3, there just wasn't really much in there. So it's another one where it's really, if we end up breaking down below this 180, it's pretty much just all she wrote, and there's nothing that I'm going to be paying attention to. And then KO. Now, KO's on like its own side list, side list, because something very interesting happened, and I just happened to be clicking through and scanning. And then if you look how it's trading, now it's not a huge mover, okay, but yesterday's actually, if we look at the range yesterday, it was only 99 cents compared to the $1.65 it normally trades, okay? And if you look, it went from really high volume, and volume has been going into a pretty big dip compared to what it usually trades. So when we see something like that start to happen, it tells us that there's opportunity for a very big move. Because remember, when we come out of a valley, that's a day of very high volume. Does that mean it's going to be today? No. Okay, and especially on the pre-market, is this anything special, 76,000 shares? Nope, not at all. But when there's no trading going on and I see something like this happen, it stands out big time. 47.50, I mean, you're talking about the difficulty of trade. We have 345 shares, 300, 200, 435. It's disgustingly thin. And when you see something like that, those are the things we were talking about within the tape reading workshop, is it just doesn't make sense, this position. So I'm going to be watching this one, but like I said, there's better stuff to actually trade out there. It's just something that really sparked my interest. OXY, I mean, there's nothing here. Same story as we know, okay? For the fact that it jumped up a little bit, I mean, it's nothing. Okay, we know how much selling that's coming into it, and it would need some type of show of hand this morning for us to get a trade. Right now, just not doing anything. Just like, AAL, Dow, CCL. We all know they could be trades this morning, but I'm looking for Cliff Notes number 1 and the pre-market. There's just nothing happening, though. They look like garbage, so it is what it is. Travel stocks are groundhogs, pretty much. Pretty much. All right, guys, anything else out there that I missed? mRNA refreshing at 38 this morning. Let's see. So must have been on smaller time in sales. Okay, yeah. I mean, mRNA definitely. I mean, I wouldn't put it on my regular list just for the morning, but it's been a great trade. 2,064 cents. It just looks really quanty right now for the market. But definitely, if Mariela says it, make sure you're looking at it. CODX. Yes, I did say THMO. CODX. Let's take a look. Nah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Is it a possibility of a move? I mean, you can see right here, that's a lot of selling that came into here that it's kind of popping up from, but then I had some buying afterwards. It's just, I mean, it's something to watch. It definitely, you can definitely keep it on your list. I just don't see anything there that anything too great. Well, GoToMeeting still got 2 days left, so then we'll finish off today with it, and then Friday, and then starting Monday, it's rest in peace. All right, guys, anything else out there? I think that is it. So let's make sure that we get ready for our morning. Let's make sure we are not doing things that are going to make us have to put $1 in the oh shit jar, because I have a feeling that thing's going to add up very quickly. So the quicker that it adds up, the less, eventually it's going to go in the plateau, and that's what we're going to be looking for. All right, guys, I'll talk to everyone in the chat, and happy trading.